Yeah, wasn't it? It's great. So, do you all know Julie McCarthy?
Yeah.
Okay, this is Julie McCarthy from Healthy Horse. Julie's been a massage therapist in our area for 8 years. And like most of us horse crazy girls, she got her start when she was young. She was in Germany, which was nice. She had a bunch of German mentors and really got a chance to be, work in the barns and have fun as a kid. And then she moved to Canada and was competing. And she went to Spruce Meadows, which is a big international venue. And she was like, wow, what are they doing for their horses to keep them in this great condition? And she saw that everybody was being massaged. And that just said, that's what I want to do. So here she is, fully educated she's certified equine massage therapist. She went to the Rocky Mountain School of Animal Acupuncture and Massage. She's certified by Equine Fascia, which is the video, the one Dr. Corin who was on the video. And she is FEI permitted, which is a really big thing to be permitted by the FEI. It's a very rigorous process, so that is a big deal. She's got a very deep knowledge of a lot of different therapeutics, and she's brought a lot of her things, and she'll talk about all those things, because as we know, sometimes it's not just a massage or just a red light or just a laser that's going to take care of things. So with that, so when you watched the video, you learned about fascia. So I just want to remind you, fascia is, she said, it's everything. It is the muscle. It is the connective tissue. It is the electrical system. It also holds water. It keeps the fluid of the body going. It is also what stores memory, emotions, and all the proprioception. So it's a really important part of what we do for our horses to keep that system moving and free and flowing. So with that, Julie, you can
Welcome everyone, thank you so much for coming.
So they can hear you too.
Okay.
And thank you to Heather Marchman for letting us
Right over here.
come to her beautiful property and borrow her beautiful horse.
So like Vicki said, fascia is everywhere. So does everybody know what fascia is? I've seen fascia. So fascia, typically you can see it like on a chicken breast. It's the white stringy tissue. So it's underneath the skin and it embeds everywhere in the body. Our body, the horse's body, everybody has it. And 20 years ago, fascia used to be cut through and discarded. It wasn't important at all. People didn't realize that it did all these magical things. And so the first fascia conference was in 2007. So we're still learning so much about it, and it hasn't even become its own structure yet, like the nervous system, the muscle. So we're hoping that fascia is going to become its own system because it does so much, and it's so important that we pay attention to this tissue. Because without it, like our body would just fall apart, like our organs would be down in our knees. So it really keeps everything together. So I'm going to hand out some things for you. So as you can see here, Sterling has the fascia lines painted on him.
So Julie, when you say like on a piece of chicken, is it that thin skin on top of it? Or
It's the white fibrous tissue. So underneath the skin, there's that white stuff.
Have you ever done
Or actually, we can also do with the orange, with the tangerine you just had, that white stringy stuff. That's like fascia also.
Okay.
So on the chicken breast though, you don't remove that white stringy tissue. You see that underneath the skin of the chicken?
Right underneath the skin?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's what I
Yeah.
was trying to...
Yeah, so sometimes you leave it on, but a lot of people remove that.
Yeah.
And it comes off with the skin, so that's fascia.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Hold like a lot of fluid?
it does.
Like, is it part of the hydration system?
It's very important for hydration, yes. Anyways, so we're going to talk about fascia restrictions. So what is a restriction? what is a restriction in a horse. So that's when the fascia is not gliding smoothly. Like, so if there's an injury, the fascia won't glide. So if I injured my hip, you can see up here, it's tight in my shoulder. You see how that's stretched from up here? So it's really interesting. So you can have an injury in your hip, but the fascia is going to be affected in your shoulder. So we really want to look at the whole horse and not just where the injury is. And we'll go through that and we'll see if he has any like restrictions in his body. Sterling gets monthly massages. So anything that comes up, you know, I tell Heather right away, and we try to figure out why it's this way. Is it the saddle? Is it tack? So we can correct it right away so it doesn't go deeper into the body. Because the fascia is the first that's going to actually tell if there's any issues within the body. Because they can have fascia restrictions, but still be sound, and still continuing to do their job, and still like competing, and you're not gonna know it, because horses, as you know, are stoic. So they're not going to say, hey, my fascia is really tight today, I need a massage.
Don't it?
No. So what is a restriction? So restriction is adhesions. So an adhesion is basically when the fascia doesn't glide, it sticks together, it gets really sticky. And they can be extremely small, they can be like the size of a pea, and then they can get bigger, and then you can have tightness. So if you feel like tightness, that's the fascia not gliding correctly, so there's restrictions in the area. And then it's gonna have like pain, and it could be lame, and then also the performance of the horse is going to not be the same if there's any type of restrictions in the fascia.
Can you see, for example, I got kicked by a horse a year ago and I've got a divot in my leg here. Would that possibly be fascia that was torn through? I mean, can you see?
By now
a
that's
dent
gonna
or-
be like scar tissue because it's been a long time, but I do have some pictures of the fascia. See this here?
Oh, yeah, okay.
So that's
Yeah.
restriction in the fascia, okay? And that's on the scapula.
So it's right there.
Yeah,
Oh.
okay.
And it just bumps with everybody bumps.
See, Heather? Okay, so that is the fascia having restrictions. And this was caused by saddle misfit, okay? So there's another picture that I have. This one is several years. This one is only, I massage this horse every month. So you'll see that the fascia is a little bit lighter in the restriction. So I came and I'm like, oh, he didn't have this last month.
Oh.
Okay?
This isn't the same horse.
This is a different
little
horse. Yeah.
Area.
And he only had it on one side. The first picture, the horse had it on both sides. So the horse only had this on one side, and I said, it appears that the saddle is slipping to the front left. And this owner cares very much about her horse and had the saddle fit her up the next day, and sure enough, the saddle was slipping to the left, so that was corrected. And then when I massaged him the following month, it was gone. Okay, and you saw the difference in the demarcation lines of the fascia with the first horse and the second horse. So the first horse had these lines for a long time, and the owner said, my horse is just like that. So it's not normal. So it's really important that we pay attention to anything in the horse. Any changes, you want to like ask yourself why. Why is this happening? You know, because it's not normal. And then it's also good, you know, to have a massage therapist, if you can't have a massage therapist, for you to put your hands on your horse. So a lot of people just brush their horse, throw the saddle on and go. But how many actually put your hands on your horse and touch your horse? All right, so half of us do. And even using a curry comb, that's gonna help the restrictions of the fascia too. Brushing is just brushing the fur, the coat of the horse. You're not gonna be like changing anything in the fascia.
So you want to actually move, for the fascia to be impacted, the skin has to be moved,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like gliding paper
Mm-hmm.
across a desk, this kind of a glide.
Yeah. We'll go into the different types shortly. All right, so we saw some of the restrictions and why there was a restriction with the saddle. Anybody else know why there would be some restrictions in the horse?
Work.
Work overload, yep. So also, as you see here with the fascia lines, we'll go over the fascia lines, but most of them are in the pole. They start in the pole, right? So the pole is very important. That's where the energy recycles in the horse. That's like the back of our nape here. And sometimes we get really tight in our nape. So your bridle can be causing restrictions at the pole. The bit can be causing restrictions in the pole. I've had horses that are CDIs, Grand Prix horses, and super tight in their pole, always tight in their pole. They get body work, they get this, they get that, but why? It was the bit. As soon as they changed the bit, the pole softened. They never had that restriction in there. The horse was able to do its job. It wasn't able to do its best and feel good. It still did its job. So we want to look for these subtle cues in the horse and ask why is it like that, because it's not normal. Okay, so the bit, changing the bit softened the area and we're able to flex more at the pole and was a lot happier there. One of the biggest reasons for restrictions in the horse is standing in a stall. Okay, horses need to move, they need to exercise. So it's movements like us, right? Like I cannot have a lazy day. I try to have lazy days, but I need to move. I need to get up and move my body, and they need to move their bodies also. So it's very important that we're moving their body on a daily basis. So there's no restrictions in the fascia. Hi, baby.
And what kind of, is it enough to just walk them? Or do they need to do walk, trot, canter every day?
Well, it depends on the age of the horse. You know, walking is good. Walking is, they're saying now that walking is really good for humans. And I always try to compare the research on humans because there's more than humans and horses, and it's better for the joints. So depending on the age and the physical state of the horse, are they able to do more? But walking for 20 minutes is really good. Like, and marching out, that's a really good walk for them, and you're getting the fascia to move. So nutrition is also a big part of the fascia for hydration. So as Vicky said, the fascia needs to be hydrated. So not only do they need like a water source at all times, omega-3s is very important for the fascia. Okay, so make sure that your horse is receiving omega-3s in their diet every day. So omega-3s is going to keep the glide in the fascia, and then also it prevents inflammation in the fascia. Everybody knows we don't want inflammation, bad inflammation. So omega-3s is very important for hydration in the fascia.
Can I ask a question about that? If anybody could give me recommendations of omega-3s that they like, they use, the names of the product, just FYI, and I'll ask later.
Yeah.
I use triamino.
Triamino?
I think that's got it's amino acids, right? That part of my trainer likes that.
And is that, okay.
I think Platinum Performance has some in there.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Thank you so much. The information.
Yeah, so these are all important. So we're going to go over the fascia lines. As you can see, also the fascia lines runs throughout the whole horse's body. Okay, so when we look at the horse, we're gonna. He always wants his butt rubbed. He's like, just rub me.
He wants to be squashed.
He's like, this is really good. So we've got the fascia lines. So we got the front, the front limb lines. Okay, so this is in the blue. We've got the front limb line that runs here from the pole all the way down into the hoof. That's for protraction. So that is for moving the horse's head side to side, up and down, and the leg forward. And then we got the other one up here starting in the pole and then running all the way down here as well. And so that's retraction. So those are functions that we want. These are just normal functions that we want in the horse at all times, whether they're competing or they're backyard pony. The superficial lines, you can see here, that's your top line. So this one's really important. The top line, if the muscle is not developing correctly on the top line, there's something wrong, okay? And Sterling is a beautiful model. You can see that all of his muscle on the top line is formed correctly. So that one goes all the way back down to the hoof as well. And you can see that is connected. So this line runs from the hoof to the pole. So he, not him, but your horse could have an imbalance in your hoof and it could be affecting him in the pole or vice versa. So if this line is restricted in any way, you can't just look at the area of where the restriction is, but it could be affected down here and then it's going to travel up so he doesn't move his body correctly. And then you got the ventral. The ventral superficial line is right here. This is in the pole as well and then travels all the way here. And then it crosses over here and comes onto the other leg. You see that? Put your tail down. Did everybody see that? So it crosses over under the belly and goes to the other side. There it is there. Okay? And then your spiral lines. These are the red lines that come here, across the body, all the way down. Also, and this one comes all the way down and under the belly and then comes up on the other side of the horse. And then we have the functional line. This basically is your forelimbs function. So this is the gold one here, and the hind limb function. Okay, so everything's connected, right? Everything needs to move together. And then the lateral lines are the white lines. So everywhere is fascia lines. I don't think there's really, and all in between, these are main lines, but in between fascia is still there, and it's runs in every direction. So it doesn't matter how you're going to undo the restrictions. It's just about finding it and doing some hand-on therapies or using tools. So we're going to turn him around and we'll work on his other side. So the first thing when I'm working with a horse and also with my horse, I'm going to look at the horse and find out how does he look? Is he standing correctly? You know, or is his legs twisted? Like, how is he looking? Does he look tight? Like, why is he standing that way? So Sterling is a 4th level horse. Well, he's after
3-3.
but Heather's doing 3-3. He's showing 3-3. So he's very fit. He's exercised 5 times a week. He gets chiropractic massage monthly, acupuncture when needed. So everything gets taken care of. But still, when I come out, I'm going to look at the horse. And the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to do carrot stretches, okay? And that's going to tell me a lot like where the restriction is, okay? So when we do the carrot stretches, we want to go all the way back. All the way back. He can hit nearly his buttocks, okay? So he's not restricted on the right. And a little bit tighter to the left, but he's going all the way. So this is really important for me, and I do it every day with my horse to find out if there's any restrictions in the fascia. So just simple carrot stretches every day is going to tell you a lot about the movement in the fascia and how the horse is and if they have any restrictions. Come back up. So this one is really good, going up, because they used to eat apples out of the trees and they don't anymore, right? So it's very important for them to go up and stretch the fascia, okay? And then we also go out. Okay, look how big that nice stretch, and he really reached, okay? So it says like stretching our necks. Feels good, right? And they're not gonna do it on their own. You don't see the horse like in the barn stretching, right? Sometimes they do, but not really. So we help them. And then the one in between the legs.
For her.
You see how far he can go back? How old is Sterling again?
Practicing that ballet.
How old is he? I think he's 15. How old is Sterling?
15.
Yeah, so he's 15, okay? So he's got good flexibility, but that's the first thing I'm gonna do with the horse to find out if there's any restrictions in the neck. And they do. Like, one horse will reach his hip no problem to the right, and then to the left he can't. So why can't he reach the other way? Like, what's wrong? And they really try, but he can't. So we want to figure out why. So the other thing that I do when I'm starting the massage, Heather, you want to come hold him up?
You want me over there?
Yeah. So I'm going to, you can't see with his mane here, but I'm going to run my fingers down the superficial fascia line, and I'm kind of digging my nail in to see if there's any restrictions. That was me touching him on his belly. So if there's a restriction, did you see that? Did everybody see that?
No.
So the muscle actually, not the muscle, but the fascia quivered. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and that's just with a gentle, so I'm doing that to see if there's anything else happening in his body. So he's got a restriction up here.
How much pressure are you putting when you do that?
That's not much. Like a good, that's a light scratch.
Like a scratch amount? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So not much, and you see how it's actually affecting down here. But if I touch here, that's not having a reaction up there. So I know the restriction is here, okay? And what sits here? The saddle, right? So we want to fix that. So there's several ways that we can fix that. So we all got our hands, so I can feel if there's any restrictions in there. It feels a little bit tight, so I can just do some gentle, like effleurage strokes. I can do myofascial release, which is kind of like holding the skin and stretching and holding there, and he's starting to chew and release. And I'm watching him too, like, is he enjoying this, right? So that's really important to find out, like, is he going to enjoy it? And the horse is always going to guide you. He's going to tell you if he likes it, if he wants more of it. He'll move away if there's too much pressure. So really have your horse guide you. Always listen to them. Watch their eyes for any reactions. Like a long blink is telling you that they're feeling that. Okay? So we're going to go in, and I'm going to use my fascia tool, which is specifically designed for the fascia. Since you guys all attended, you get a gua sha tool.
Yeah.
You're welcome. And I want you to use this on yourself first and feel the pressure. So you want to have your gua sha tool, use it on yourself. This one, maybe it fell. Oh, here it is. This one is a gua sha tool also, but this is rose quartz. This one is designed for the face. This is my car fascia. I'm in the car going like this all day because it feels really good. So use it on your body. For who had the injury? So you had the injury on your leg.
Oh, yeah.
So you want to start working that fascia. Any direction, right? Any direction. You want to break up the adhesions. You probably want to be directly on the skin, but with the scar tissue, you can go in, feel the pressure that you're using. So if you guys want to feel that one and use it, I seriously love it on my neck. So that's breaking up any of the restrictions, the adhesions, and bringing glide back into the fascia. So I use this on the horse. I'm not digging it into the horse. I'm using, like, this is light pressure. And he's like, it's okay. And so if I go a little bit harder, look at him stretch his neck. He's like, oh yeah. Oh, that feels so good. Like that. All right.
Is that a common spot?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like our shoulders, right?
Yeah.
And then I check. He's still got a little bit of the stress points down there, but most of it's gone. Okay, and I'm using a lot of pressure. You can see I'm using a lot of pressure and it's gone. Okay. So that's it. That's all you have to do. But if you don't do that, that adhesion's going to build up. The area around it is going to get tighter. He's going to start compensating because he can't move his body correctly. And then he's going to have like issues with his performance. He'll still do his job, but it won't be so great, right? So we want to catch this when it's a small issue before it turns into a big one. So those are some of the things that you can do to help remove the adhesions. And then when I'm starting the massage also, I'll go through some other fascia lines. You see he had one there. I don't know if you guys saw that. It's gone now. So I would use it in here. So last week I was working on a horse and he was extremely toed in the hind end. I'm like, that's really weird. So I took the fascia tool and used it on his lower legs. I went all the way down because the fascia covers everything, right? There's no muscle down here. I'm using a different type of pressure. And he stood straight. He was able to correct. So the fascia was pulling and it was uncomfortable for him. So yeah, so this is the fascia tool.
If you find something on your horse, should you work on that every day or test it every day at least to see, right? And then when it stops reacting, you know you've resolved.
Yeah. So that's the thing with when I check my horse, I do it every day. So it could be repetitive. It could be an old injury that's just going to have tightness in there, you know, because it wasn't resolved. So a perfect example is I had an injury. I fell off a horse and I could walk and I thought I was fine. And then 3 months later, I couldn't walk. Okay. So my body continued doing things until it couldn't. And then it took me 5 years to fix it. Okay. So my spine was like that and all my muscles regrouped. And then it wasn't to the point where I'm like, I couldn't walk. And I thought it was fine. Like I fell off the horse, no big deal. Got on the next day and rode. So old injuries can creep up like that. So it's really important to recognize anything on the horse that's different. Any unusual lumps and bumps, and then even with the fascia, it's going to appear, sometimes it'll be like ripples, but the most of them I see, and I don't see that many, is the fascia here. So the scapula is not able to do its function. The thoracic sling is not able to lift the shoulders up because the saddle is restricting the movement, okay? They love it everywhere. Fascia is everywhere. The masseter is a big muscle here on their cheek. All right, so we can use it there. Up here. Oh yeah, that feels good. All right. So just explore with your horse. I've even done it on some horses' ears. Like what do they like? Like each horse is different. Common one here. You should start stretching out. So see how he's stretching. He's like, oh, that's good. I like that.
So you're not necessarily just staying with the direction of the hair, you're just going up and down.
Fascia runs every direction. So it doesn't really matter. You can go every which way. And then with the fascia lines, you're going to hit a fascia line. So you don't have to know like, oh, this is the actual like superficial line. I have to do that. But even though with my massage, I check that because the top line is very important. So I don't, some therapists go on the lines, but I do everything, the whole body. I check everything to see if there is any restrictions in the body. Another one that's common is here in the girth box. So they'll have a lot of tightness in here. So I'll work with the fascia down here and even under their belly, because it's everywhere, right? But he likes his butt the most. And you see he's like stretching into it. And then, I used to have the single nozzle massage gun, and most horses liked it, but this they love. This has got 16 nozzles on it, and actually has red light also. But I can use it on the actual like joints. So this is the lowest setting. Anything you're going to introduce to your horse for the first time, you always like. I worked with Sterling for over 2.5 years now, so he knows me. He knows what I do. But I'm always going to have the horse smell it and introduce it to them. Even put it on this way so you can feel the vibration. You know, my horse will jump out of the arena if I did this to her. Okay, so be careful with what you're doing for the first time. All right, see how it's light, it's going over. And I'm not worried about direction. So he's telling me, he's like, no, do it back here. Like, this is where I want it. Okay?
Finally.
So they'll always listen to what they have to say. And I can go down. I'm going to turn it up a little bit because he knows this and he likes it. So that's just a higher speed. And we can go all the way down, okay? All the way up. Now he's stretching his neck out. He's like, yeah, my favorite. But his favorite's back here. You know, this is the engine of the horse, right? So you want to keep everything nice and loose here. Everything gliding together. Having good function. And I'll send a link to this. This was like $75 on Amazon. So it's available. It works great. Like I said, my horse would kill me if I used this on her. She's like, hands on me.
Julie, when you're
Pass
doing
it
this
around
work,
so we can feel it.
Yeah.
It's a
when you're
fascia
doing this
blaster.
work,
There's a big yawn.
do you have them
But I don't
tied
know what
up,
that
or do you just leave them kind of more in your stall like that?
So the yawn is the biggest body release you can possibly have.
There we go.
All right, so you just had a few, and that's really what we're looking for because it's a full body release. So the licking and chewing is good, but here he is yawning. So that's really
There we
good.
go, fine.
And then he wants more. He wants more. More and more. Okay.
He's actually perfect to use because he's so first. She can get him, you can see a horse that's not so quiet.
So to answer your question, it really depends on the horse. If it's the first time I'm working with the horse, I prefer to do it in the stall.
Yeah.
So they're not distracted by outside noise. And I can connect a lot better with them. And then it really depends about tying them up also. Some will stand still. Some will have to move, which is okay as well. And, you know, it depends on the age as well, because sometimes the younger horses, they're just too fidgety. So I'm working as quickly as I can with them, because they don't understand how to release. They hold tension in their body, and they got to learn to accept these feelings. So a lot of times you'll see their mouth will start quivering. I believe it's when the endorphins start getting releasing. It's kind of like a little endorphin rush, right? Like when we get it, like we feel good and there's tingles all over our body. So they do as well, but they don't know how to deal with it. So they'll rub their nose on me or the wall, or they'll start yawning and chewing and licking once they understand how to process the endorphins and the releases. And some horses are so shut down that and feel vulnerable that they won't do it in front of me. They'll go to the corner and hide, and then they'll yawn, right? Because they don't want to show any vulnerability and get kicked out of the herd for being weak. So every horse is different, and with your horse, you just want to listen. So yeah, and then I have other tools. I've got some red lights that I use on the horse with every massage also. Red light is photobiomodulation. It works at cellular level, so it bypasses the fascia, and it gets the cells to re-energize at a quicker rate. So this is also very helpful for producing glide in the horse's fascia and releasing tension, right? So if anything's tight, we're gonna release the tension and get them to move easier. So other things I do as well to get the glide is stretching with some of the legs. And this is really good too. This is like an all body stretch. And so the fascia lines that are here, this goes all the way into the hind leg. And so he's really good. He's like enjoys it. I'm not forcing him. And he's got good glide in his fascia and his shoulders. Yeah. And then even when I'm picking up the hoofs, I want to make sure the fascia is flowing in the actual hoof itself, right? Is there mobility here? It's not sticky, right? When the fascia is restricted, it's sticky. So you want to check this as well. These are just simple things to do when you're picking out your horse's hoof. Like, is there mobility there? Like, is everything moving smoothly? Some horses, a lot of horses get really stuck in their shoulders. It's like this. So we want to help them. We want to help them loosen up as much as we possibly can. So yeah, does anybody have questions about fascia or anything else?
What do you think about the tail pulling?
Tail pulling is great. So, you know, he's used to me and we do it. The tail pulling, I actually, we'll see here, I go to the side, hold on a minute. And this actually, I don't know if you can see it now.
It's the stifle.
The stifle, and then to the intercostals. So that is working with those. Just got it engaged. And so when I do the pull, I let them pull. I pull back, and then I let him go. See how he's going forward? So he's really pulling hard right now. And so it's on them. So there he goes. He's getting very impatient. So you pull, and then they pull you forward, and you just hold it. And then you slowly let go, okay? So that one is really good. And then pelvic tilts are really good. Make sure you stand to the side. And that's gonna lift everything up, okay? And you do it slowly so they can engage the core and tilt up. And that's really good for the spine. Goes up. So pulls are good, but do it slowly and let the horse pull. So they'll move forward and then just release slowly as well.
What are some of the, for a dressage horse, what are like the top 3 areas, like for people that aren't familiar with the entire, you know, this anatomy and everything? What are like 3 key signs or spots that you would really, you said the pole and the scapula.
Right, and then the back, of course. So when I take my horse out of the stall, I do the carrot stretches and I check her back. So I'll run my fingers down her back. Does she have any stress points? And then checking her back for any soreness on both sides before I put the saddle on. I'm always checking.
So was that just a response to you pushing that he just did, or were those sore spots?
It wasn't really sore, because if I do it again, he's not dipping.
There's no, yeah, so we should always do it like,
A couple times,
Okay.
you know.
because I know sometimes, you know, the vets come up and they go, no, right at the point of the hip, and out of nowhere, a finger down, and the horse is like, ah!
Yeah, I would do that too.
I would too. So
Yeah.
I always, go, well, let's
You know,
do it a
and then
couple
also
times.
even just on the sides, like here, I'm using like a lot of pressure. Like, is he moving away? Does he appear to be sore here? Like, is he responding? And I'm using like I use a lot of pressure. Like, I'm stronger than I think I am. So he's not responding in any way. I would say he's sore. So yeah, I would do it a couple times. And when I do get a response from the horse, I do it again. Like, am I sure that he's sore? Like, is he really sore, or did he just dip away? Because he's cold backed, right? Particularly, they're cold backed. They haven't exercised, then it's going to be responding differently. So I always check those. Sensitivity in the poll, the shoulders, the back. And then also with stretching the legs and hooves.
So my horse every once in a while comes up with the rippling, only on one side, and it's the side he flexes best to, which is kind of surprising. But it's right where my heel goes, right? And I know it's not spur marks because I don't ride in spurs that haven't grown up time, and so it's not like you know what spur marks do. These are just like 3 little ripples right here, and then I can massage it and it goes away, right?
So that'd be the fascia then.
So it is
That's
the
a
fascia.
restriction, yeah.
But where does that restriction come from in his body then, if it's down there?
I think just on the actual point, but let's turn him around, Heather. Turn him around.
I know he's restricted there, but is there someplace else that's where it's painful, so that's generating?
Yeah, so it could be this line here,
Okay.
right? So then if we look, so it could be like in the pole,
Sorry.
where he's having the issue,
Uh-huh.
and it's coming down here.
Uh-huh.
But if you're massaging this area and it goes away, then I'd say it was that area.
Okay.
Stop.
You stop now.
Any other questions?
Julie, how, I get with the restrictions in the fascia, but how about like their just muscle tightness in general? Do they respond the same way that we do if we've had a hard workout and then our muscles are tight and that's the actual muscle, not the fascia? Is like,
Yeah,
That
so
makes sense.
it would be the muscle because you're using the muscle. The fascia helps support the body move, and you can have like tightness in the fascia, and then it goes into the muscle.
Okay.
So if the fascia is already tight and is restricted, then the muscles are going to get tighter as well. But it happens first in the fascia.
okay.
So we want to make sure that the muscles are not tight, and we're releasing those as well.
What about cold versus heat? Because
I think they're both great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use it all. And we don't ice our horses back. I ice my horses back, and I tell people, ice your horses back. I ice my back when it's sore. Why don't we like throw an ice boot on them and ice your horse's back?
Yeah.
Right? So that's going to bring more blood flow into the area and help heal the horse. So I always tell people, like, because they're like, well, what do I do with my horses? So, well, what do you do for yourself? You know, you'll massage it with icy hot. So put some liniment gel on your horse's back, ice it, have the heat, which feels good. We could tape it. Anything that's going to help the horse feel better. Anything that we do. And like, I'm really surprised, like, people don't do enough with their horses in recovery when they're injured. Right? Like when Pearl got the abscess last week, she got everything thrown at her. She got MagnaWave, she got laser, she got red light, she got PMF, she got the cold bucket, she got the hot bucket. Everything was at her, and then like she was dead laying on Friday and Saturday. She was walking normal because she got everything thrown at her. And it told the body, like, even though the abscess is in the hoof, she's compensating on her other side, right? So the right side of her body is going to be really tight and sore. So I see a lot of that with injuries on the opposite side is where the fascia is really tight. Yeah.
Oh, stuck in the chair.
All right, so sticky on the chair. All right, sticky stretches. Hi. So hi beautiful. Hi. So he's perfectly. My horse, right here, he's all right, but he's actually got a little dip here on both sides, like under the back of the saddle. Would that be
Under the saddle or behind the saddle?
It's probably maybe just behind it.
Okay.
This guy doesn't have that.
Yeah, and it's on both sides.
Mhm.
So that's like he's not engaging his core and lifting and developing those muscles then. How old is he?
10.
Oh, so he's very young, so he
Well,
should.
That's what's weird.
So a lot of horses will do their job and not do it correctly. Okay? They're not engaging correctly and lifting through their core and bringing up over their back. You'll see a lot of the horses, they have a nice frame. They look really good. They've got their head down. But are they really, truly engaged? And especially younger horses, because they're so athletic that they can actually do the job without engaging. Right? So I'm sure we've all seen it where you think the horse looks really nice, but they're not engaging, truly engaging and lifting those muscles. So if he's not developing there, I would look at the saddle. Is the saddle preventing him to engage his back and come up and work those muscles? So, do you work them in the fascia or anything?
Yeah, I've actually been told to do that by the vet, so that's
Okay.
consistent. I was just wondering if there was any fascia that was particularly direct.
Yeah, so you got the top line fascia that's right there.
Mhm.
And then also this one where it's the, that has the front to the back. And the intercostals are there too, so the muscles that are here. So we're, but that's part of the longimus muscle, so he's not engaging and lifting correctly. Like I said, horses can do Grand Prix and not do it correctly. Okay, but they're gonna break down real fast, right? So, any other questions?
That was great, Julie, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for coming.
Julie goes all throughout the area, so if you want, definitely book a session and get your horse looked at and evaluated and see what process, she can help you with. Because I know my horse is quite large and he grew through almost his 8th year, and he was up, down, up, down, up, down. We were just like all over the place. And it's really helped to have a monthly massage and make sure that Julie's got hands on, eyes on, to make sure that everything is actually functional. And he gets chiropractic as well. But it's a super thing if you want longevity
Yes.
and
Yes.
have a horse for a long time that's going to stay sound. It really does help.
It's preventive maintenance. So there's one horse I was working with last week as well. Doesn't do massage. She's 6 years old. She's an eventer, very competitive, completely broke down. The restriction in her pole, she had major inflammation, like swelling in the pole. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is not good. Like, why? And she was like running through cross country. She was having a great time. And now she's broken down. But we caught it. But the person put all the vets to her, what about this? And they're like, we can't find anything wrong with her. So she's completely sound, but she's not willing to move forward. And then when I worked with her, I put the PMF blanket on her and her whole body released. She was like this, and then it spasmed. And I was like, oh my God, what's happening? So she completely let go, and that was the fascia completely letting go and the muscles letting go. Okay, so we can go home and have a glass of wine and relax. Horses can't, they're in their environment, and the tension's just gonna grow and grow and grow until something's gotta give, right? And if the muscles are not being worked and relaxed, a lot of injuries are gonna go to the lower leg because that's gonna take the load. So if the muscle's too tight and we're asking it to do the repetitive motion, it's going to stop taking the load and it will go to the suspensory. So it's really important to massage the horse yourself, release the tension, get the tension out of them with yawns to prevent injury. So it's preventive maintenance. So we catch it early, like the pictures I showed you. that horse just kept going, that muscle's not gonna develop wrong, and then it's gonna take longer to fix them. So, yeah.
Well, fabulous. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate it. We've got waters and oranges and that kind of thing if you want to stick around and chat with Julie. Thank you, Heather, and hey, thank you, Sterling, for being such a good boy.
Yeah.